What's up, guys? This isn't going to be a terribly long video. I think the assembly of the Pigeon is much simpler, and I'm not going to actually be putting it together. I'm going to take this one I've already made and reassemble it so you can see what's going on, and I'll point out some of the things you need to keep in mind. So the basic components for this are the trigger, pusher, mag release, handles, and the slide. So I guess first I'll go over the slide. I don't really want to take it apart. The hole is 1 inch wide, so then you'll take 1 inch outer diameter pipe of some kind. Mine is some ABS pipe I got from Home Depot. Other things will work, but if they are more than 1 inch, and give or take because of printing tolerances, you may have to sand and file this out. The next part there is the barrel guide. The barrel guide, which acts as the battery cover. And so this is one solid piece and has 2 screw holes, and the slide actually clamps around it. A couple of places to note: there are little circular tabs that actually go into this that you can't see, and there's these square tabs that help guide it. So it's got four little things guiding it so that it doesn't wobble very much when it slides. There's also these 2 rear guides to keep it from wobbling like this and this when it's in use, and the slide lock is here, or the catch for the slide lock. The return spring goes here. This is under 2 inches. I think it's 1.75 inches in length and about 3/16 or 3/32. I think it's 3/16 in diameter. It needs to be able to fit into this space, so it's pretty tight. And I don't recommend any longer than 1.75 inches so that you can have a fairly strong return. You will want to sand these spots down, all of the contact points with the barrel guide and the pusher. This is actually how it slides in the rear. It slides on these parts, and I'll get to that. So you'll want to sand all those, file them, and lubricate them so that it slides nice and smooth, and possibly the front as well. There's an orange barrel piece that goes on. I have not glued that in yet. And the iron sights will slide in sideways, and they're solid pieces, but I also am printing those right now, so they're not ready. The pusher is this mounting piece, which sometimes prints funny like this, and then it has a little thing in the front that isn't actually necessary. It's the pusher itself, which is this part here, and then there's this arm that it flips on. This is what gives it the pivot that makes it work with the push. And you'll probably need to sand down these 2 slots, and possibly right here on the pusher, because those parts, depending on how good your first layer are, may be a little pressed down and will cause too much friction. I tried to make sure the tolerances were good enough that you could pretty much put it together without any filing or sanding, but every print is a little different. So next we have the lower, and I guess the grips. In version 7, possibly 6, you can use motor screws to screw these in, or you can use, which is like what, M2x4, I think, screws, or you can just glue it with super glue, and that works just fine. That might even work just a little better, but the screws look nice. So the mag release uses 2 screws and a very short spring. I think this is less than ½ an inch. It might even be like 1/4 of an inch long, pretty small. Ace has micro springs that will work for this. Actually, you can probably get all of the springs you need from Ace. And you'll need a pin. I think this one is 332 diameter and 0.75 inches wide. It's a little too wide to clamp properly, so you could get something a little narrower. But that is, it needs a good pivoting point. I have had that printed in the past, but it's too prone to failure, so now it's an actual hardware piece. And the trigger just sits in here and just slides. This, I have not sanded down the trigger at all, and the trigger just goes into here, and just as a basic, just pushes. And it just pivots. This is a lot like how a Raven works, actually. So then for assembly, you put a screw here, and then a spring hooks. A stronger spring might give a nicer trigger pull. And before I fully assemble this, I actually wanted to put a stronger spring in here. But version 7 is designed in a way that because the spring is off center, things changed, and the switch interaction is nice and very direct. And that makes it so you don't have to have such a strong spring as some of the other versions. Then on this side there is the slide lock, and mine is left-handed, so all of these parts are flipped. The right-handed version will have the slide lock on the other side. That's not important, all the parts are the same. So the slide lock just kicks up and hits this hook like that, essentially, and then when you put it down, it slides back. This part goes on, you slide it up, there's a slot for it, and it goes up in between before the cover goes on, especially if you glue these. That will be particularly notable for you, that's gonna be really hard to get in, as in you can't without taking it off, so make sure you do that first. Screw ports all over here, there's 5 on the base, and 4 on the slide, and so back to the actual lower. Oops. God damn it. Okay. So you slide this together. So then the way that this attaches is there are 2 screws here. You want to make sure all of these parts that sit flat like this are pressed down tight when you screw them in. Oh, that would explain where that screw came from, because you don't want them to have any gaps or anything. So that just screws in there, and that acts as a holder too, so that the trigger does not move up and down as much. Before you put it together, you want to take this is a really important piece, and this is the tab protector for the motors, because the trigger slides right under them, and you will put that down in here and just slide it in. You want to position it so that it's not creating excess friction, so it should be pretty level. And that about covers this. You don't strictly need a screw in here, but I recommend putting a screw in the switch to hold it better in place. And then the flywheel cage is pretty standard. 2 honey badgers and the FTW wheels. I use a vise to squeeze these on to clamp them on, but you probably don't have to. And that goes in here. There are 2 screws that go through here when it's assembled, so those screws go last because it has to be clamped together. And then finally, with the slide, those 2 screws screw into the handle as well, the lower. That's right. The circuit is really simple. Oh, one note when you were doing that. I bend down the tabs on the motors carefully so that they sit flush, and I use 18 gauge wire, not 16. It probably can fit, but it's going to be a tight squeeze because there is really not a lot of room here. You can see how tight that is. In theory, it shouldn't interact, but I keep it there. So the circuit is just a strife circuit, but placed instead of on normally open, you put it on normally closed, because the trigger keeps the switch pressed while active. So when you have a battery in, this is potentially prone to revving on its own if the trigger is not protected while it's idle, so to speak. So let me draw up the circuit on this HOA paper. Okay, so the circuit, that one is C, that one is NC. You do not use this one, you use this one and this one. And we have the flywheels, and depending on how your motors are faced, You may have to put the negative in front or back. It changes, it depends. So essentially the circuit, if the motor names are facing on the inside, you'll put the negative in front. If they're facing outside, you'll put positive in front. So mine are facing inside, so we'll just go, oh, and you want to, I do one solid piece of wire, so go from here to here so that all of the wires are on this side, on the off side where the screw ports are. And you just take it straight to black, or take the black straight to negative from the negative motors. And then for the flywheels, you go positive and you go to the C. At least this is how I've always done it. So you drag it around to C, and then the battery goes from negative, or normally closed, to positive. And it's that simple.
Because I get the apple some.
Oh, Jesus, Ellie. So that should, that makes it pretty simple. Maybe.
Can I have my pen?
So that's a pretty simple circuit. It's, like I said, it's just like a stripe circuit, but in a different configuration than normal. Well, not totally. So it's pretty easy to wire. The Thingiverse page has a wiring diagram. The switch is flipped upside down because it was for an older version, but that's nothing to worry about. The tabs that you solder to are the same. I also highly, highly recommend that you use, maybe in a bit, that you use heat shrink, because the wires are all really close to each other. In this case, there is a contact here. The common is pretty close to this screw. So just to be safe, use heat shrink. It will prevent any contact with outside wires and metal and whatever. Anyway, I hope that helps explain how to assemble this. It is pretty straightforward in my opinion, but also I designed it, so I'm not, you know, probably qualified to say what's simple or not. Thanks for watching, guys.